Hey, if you're part of that new sector in logistics called dispatch services, where you're going to be dispatching for trucks of other carriers and basically be an extension of their office, doing invoicing for them, doing check calls, making sure that the load gets to where it's going on time, then you're in the right place. Check out this demo that we did for Keith Barnette. Keith teaches dispatch services to people who want to go into their own business, and he chooses Load Manager for his students. I hope you enjoy it.
This is Cassandra with Load Manager. I'm part of the support team for the TMS system y'all will be working with during your classes. And so I'm just here to sort of show you around a little bit, answer questions about the system or general questions you may have about record keeping and TMSs. And please note, this is being recorded. If you have any questions, y'all can look back on it as well. All right, let's get started. So in your Load Manager or TMS, Load Manager and TMSs are used primarily to be able to keep track of your loads, your customers, including the shippers you're working with and the carriers you're doing dispatching for, and of course, being able to keep track of any employees or users that you have. So the basics of this is you'll be adding a load, and you can do that by simply clicking add load, and then you would put in your customer. Now, in this case, if it's a new customer, you can build it on the fly. So let's say that we are billing Crazy Horse, and we'll set their address here. And as you can see, we make it really simple for you to put in information. Now, as dispatch service providers, one important thing that can set you above your competition is being able to offer invoicing services. So not only can you dispatch on behalf of the carrier, but you can also invoice on behalf of them. And so that's why you put in this information here so that you know who this load is for. So we have here that it's going to go to Crazy Horse, and we just put in the information we want, and then we're all set.
So did that box just pop up when you tried adding somebody in there? It popped up by itself, or you clicked something to add the new?
It pops up by itself. Because
Okay.
because if it's a current one, like let's say Crazy Horse is where we're starting out, it's going to automatically see it in the system. As you can see,
wanted
there's
to
that
make sure
drop.
I didn't miss a step with you adding.
Oh, of course. No, it's meant to be intuitive. And when you're looking for TMS systems, you're really looking for something that allows you to do things as you're getting that load, because if you're on the phone, you don't want to have to stop and go to the customer tab and create a customer and all that. You need to really be able to build it on the fly.
Right.
So and that's why Keith likes this for y'all, because that's what our system allows us to do. So let's say we're going to Crazy Horse, and you'll see it's a drop down, so I can just click on it and I'm all set. Now let's say that, now just to give you a little look at our system behind the scenes, this customer tab opens up into all your shipping and delivery locations. So you have everyone here that you've worked with. So you can always look back and you're having a record. And so if they're here, the system will automatically be able to pull from the drop down. And if it's not, when you add it here, it will go to this list, so you have it for future loads. So you have your pickup and delivery location. Let's go ahead and choose a different location here with an actual address. As you can see, you can just put in the city, but we do recommend the actual address for better miles calculations, which we see right here. So there's a few things to note. If you, for some reason, find yourself needing to, you have the ability to do pickup and delivery blind, but most of the time you're not going to need that. So most of the time you're going to put in your pickup date, and you can put in your appointment time. Notice we can use ASAP, any format we want. So in this case, we're going to have it delivered ASAP, and then we're going to want it delivered the next day, and they're open between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. So as you can see, I can easily build it as I'm on the phone or as I'm talking to a customer or looking at an email that I received, however I get my loads. And I can put in the instruction like call before arrival, and so on. And then of course, this is going to be my carrier. And as you can notice with your carrier, you have all the information entered and you're all set. And you do have a place where you can put in the specific driver if that carrier's not a single owner operator. So here we're going to put Ray Gaunt. He was the driver we're using. You can also use equipment, but keep in mind, you don't have to fill out any of these fields if you don't want to. They're here so you can record what's important to you at that load. And you'll see here that the miles calculating is already created for you. Load Manager is really intended to make your life simple and easy. You know, as you can see, it took me not even a minute, right, to fill out all this information. I have my report, and all my reports are automatically generated, even ones that I may not always need, but it's there in case I do. And that's why you have a TMS. You have a TMS so you can present a nice, consistent, professional front to your customers and their customers if you're doing invoicing for them. And also so you can be really organized and you can keep everything together. And then the automation allows you to not spend, 10 minutes trying to take the load information and put it in a dispatch report and then do the same thing manually for an invoice and so on.
I have a question.
Yes.
So with this payment thing, is this payment going straight to the broker, or does it break down for one for the broker and one for the driver, or what?
So normally what you would do is you're going to get a report or a load information from the carrier that you're working for, and they're going to tell you the cost, right? Maybe a lot of the times it might be called a line haul, and you have that cost, and you're going to normally get a dispatch fee percentage of that cost. So what our system does is you're going to go ahead and put in that carrier cost. So this carrier it's $1,200, right? And then you're going to get a percentage for that. And the way your fee is calculated is our system will do that automatically. So most of the time when you're dealing with a carrier, you've agreed to the same percentage. So our system gives you the ability to put in your dispatching fee once. And then what will happen is your load manager will calculate your fee for each load automatically.
Okay,
And
I'm more like when in those situations where you have someone working for the carrier, are the payments separated, or?
when you have someone working for the carrier, you're normally not going to be dealing with paying them.
Okay.
If you're dealing with an invoice, you're going to offering invoicing services is for the carrier's customer. So
Okay.
who the bill would be going to.
Okay.
So basically so in our case here, Gant Trucking Transportation was hired by Crazy Horse to truck this load for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in a way you could say Gant's Trucking Transportation, their customer, right, or their client is Crazy Horse. And so if you're doing dispatching services for Gant Trucking Transportation, you can offer with our system what's called invoicing services, or you can say, hey, not only can I manage your dispatching for you, but I can also send that invoice to your customer. So dealing with load cost and payments, most of the time you're going to be getting a flat rate that the carrier will get, right? And that you're getting your percentage off of. So let's say this is $1,200 and you're going to get a percentage off of that. What you'll see is that you're going to put that there for the carrier because that's where your percentage is. And then you're also going to put that for the customer, right? Because when you're doing invoicing for them, that's how much the carrier is charging the customer. So you put it in both places and you press save. Now, if they're doing a rate by miles calculation, you also have the ability to do that. So some loads, though, may start off with a flat rate or a miles, but then add additional costs, say a detention fee or a lumper fee, right? And so our commodities and accessorials table allows us to create customized commodity types to itemize our costs or different fees. You can also use it for a payment advance. Perhaps you were giving the carrier a credit, right, against their initial cost, anything that you need. So it's versatile for itemizing and spelling out different fees. You can also use the commodity and accessorial table for building a cargo list, especially for a BO. So let's say we're picking up 1 pallet of tomatoes, and then we're going to pick up 2 pallets of lettuce. As you can see, I don't have to put a type in, but I can. In this case, I'm just listing what I'm putting in, so I don't need to select a type. This allows you the ability to easily itemize or list unique items and also pre-program the system with drop-down fills. Drivers want to be, they want ease of use, and it's good for you too. So we offer this mobile rate confirmation. Now, we do have several options, but this is the one that's included in our basic package and normally meets the needs of dispatch service providers while overcoming hurdles. So a lot of the times when you're dealing with drivers, they don't want to download an app, right? They don't want app running in the background all the time, wasting their battery.
Right,
So
right.
so all of these things. So this is by far the most popular option that we offer for dispatching services. And what happens is you'll see we send them over this email, right? That's pretty simple. You can also do a text if you want to. They click on this link, done. And when they do that, it opens on their phone using their web browser. So they're not downloading anything. It's, if you have an iPhone, it's going to use Safari, whatever your default browser is, it opens this web page. As you can see, it's formatted for a phone. And it's going to have all the information they need. So they put their name in, and then they press continue. And what will happen is they have the ability to send their GPS location to you whenever they want. So let's say they break down or something and they need your help, right? They can click send GPS location and you can know exactly where to send that tow truck, right?
Okay.
Or normally what it's used for is when they've arrived and departed. They simply click the arrived or the departed button, and this will automatically update on your load manager.
Okay.
So if you're looking here, you'll see here that I'm the driver here and I've let you know that I've completed my load stops, right? I have all my information. I have any special instructions, anything I need right here in one page. So it's really easy and it's all right on my phone or my tablet. So what's nice about this mobile app is besides telling you where he is in a load without you needing to do any check-in calls, he can also upload his BOL or POD. Any load documents that you need, he can upload right from his camera. So he takes a picture. He can also attach a document if he wants to. And this is all done through his phone. And it follows the standard procedure that most people use whenever you're taking a picture and uploading, right? You snap the picture and then it says, do you want to upload? You click OK, and it's right here. And so what happens is you're probably doing something else, right? Because you're new to the business, you're wearing tons of hats, and you have your loads going, and you see here that now this load was delivered. So you're ready to maybe invoice the customer if you're offering invoicing services, or go ahead and change it to complete. So what we do is we can go ahead and see here that that the arrived times that he put in are recorded automatically. The load is automatically updated. We can see on our map exactly where he is. And as you can see, this is me right here. So I'm right here. And you see here, it gives the date and time, it tells you the load number, and it tells you the exact location where he pinged his address. And so on a normal, so when he's normally would be doing this, you'd have a little icon up here where he picked the load. You might have it over here if he sent you his GPS location, and then you'd have one here when he delivered. And so you know what time, and you can always refer back to it if there's ever a question later on. And then the real-time saver is that file that he attached is right here. And you can view it to make sure you like it. And then what you do is, let's say it's a POD, you'd make it a billing document. And now you're ready to increase your value as a dispatch service provider by offering that invoicing services. As we showed before, this is going to be the invoice that you can invoice Gantt Trucking's customer, Crazy Horse, on their behalf. And you can easily send it to them right through an email and include that POD or any other documents you need to that the driver attached for you.
I have a question.
Yes.
And this may or may not be for Keith, I'm not sure, but so with the invoice, if you're using a factoring company, the invoice would go to the factoring company instead of directly to the, I guess, customer?
Keith, do you want to take that one?
Yes. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Cassandra, the majority of their drivers are going to be with TAS or OTR factoring.
Okay,
so they're
perfect.
just going to send over the BOL and the Raycon and the NOA to the factoring company.
Yes, and then to do that, you can easily do that as well. You can simply click on the rate confirmation and you can put in the factoring companies too and send it right over. Or if you prefer, you can always download all of our reports. They come as PDFs and send it any way you'd like.
Yeah. So
Okay, thank you.
So
Okay.
Brianna, this is a better way of doing it. So everything is in one location for you.
So does this also calculate tolls if they got to do tolls? If they got to go through tolls?
This wouldn't calculate tolls. No, you can put in tolls, but there's no way for the system to calculate tolls.
I wasn't
Right.
sure. if the Google
That was
Maps,
a truck router. That was truck router, Cassandra, Sandra, Sonia.
Gotcha.
See, I told you I mess up people's names.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure if Google Maps popped that up or something. That's why I asked.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So what would happen would be is if you wanted to include tolls, if you needed to include that, you can always just simply add that row and you can put in tolls and you can assign a cost to whichever carrier customer is appropriate. Now, once you've gone ahead and sent this over to the factoring company, you're going to probably be ready to get paid. And under the reports, we give you the ability to send your carrier an itemized dispatching fee list called a carrier settlement report. So they know how much they owe you and they know how that calculation came from. And so in this case, you would set your parameters here and you could choose your carrier. In this case, we're going to use Gantt Trucking. Keep in mind, this reporting system offers lots of different options, but this is going to be one of the most common you'll use at the end of your load cycle. And so you see here, it's going to have your logo. It lets them know that it's a carrier report, who it's by. And then what it does is it gives them a breakdown of the total cost based upon the fee you all agreed with. Here's your dispatching fee or your service fee. Clearly written, they tell you the load number and the basic information for the load so they can identify it. It tells you the dispatch, it tells them the dispatch fee for each load, and then it tells them the total. So here, so at the end of the week, let's say you dispatch 3 loads to them, you're able to send this off and you can email it directly from our system so they know how much they owe you and you can get paid. Load Manager offers different ways to help you do that. And I'll just highlight a few that may be useful to you. We offer the ability for you to have a CRM where you can schedule callbacks or any information you need to. You simply create a call note type and then you can assign it to one of your users or yourself and schedule when that needs to be. So if you need to do a follow-up call for the customer to your carrier. Maybe you want to call them to see if they have more loads. You'll be able to do that right through here. You can also do satisfaction surveys. Anything you need, this is going to help you keep organized. Under the carrier tab, you have the ability to keep track of all the information that you need to for the carrier. We offer a service called Carrier Lookout, which will keep track of the carrier information as reported to the FMCSA, which helps you make sure that that carrier insurance is up to date. The customer, we offer a similar option, but we also offer, the customer also has the ability where you can create any information you need for them as well. As you grow, this will become important to you. You have the ability to restrict user roles and to set up different offices to isolate your customers and your loads based upon different locations. So if you have like an office in San Diego and New York, they can have separate customer bases, but you as the owner can see everything in one system. This is really key. We offer the ability to email pretty much anything directly from Load Manager. And this is going to save you a lot of time, because that way that correspondence you need to do to send out that rate confirmation or so on, like in this load here, I can send an email straight from Load Manager, so I don't have to download it. And this helps with efficiency. When you get Load Manager, you'll just link up your current email. That way that your customer knows it's from you, and you're all set to go. As you get larger and you need to keep track of your employees, you'll notice that we also have a log system, so you can easily see how your employees, what they're doing in the system. And so these are just some examples of what Load Manager offers. This is a general overview, but whenever you're looking for a TMS, you want a TMS that's easy to use and quick to use. Load Manager does this by having everything on one screen, right? You don't have to have multiple screens or switch between different views. You have everything on one screen for that load. And you want a system that can grow with you, but really works for you as a smaller company now. And so that's why Keith likes Load Manager, because it tends to meet all the needs that you all will see now currently when you're just starting your business, but also as you put on employees and start having regular carriers. Keith, do you have anything to add?
Yes, can you show them how to onboard a carrier?
Yes, I forgot to do that. So your carriers, we offer a carrier onboarding option. And what happens is this is completely customizable. We'll go ahead and onboard this carrier as an example. So as you can see, to send that carrier onboarder, you just simply click on this button and you can email them a link. So when you're starting a new relationship with a carrier, this would normally be a one-time thing that you do with the carrier. But they can always go back into that link if something changes.
So that would be their way to modify, is what you're saying?
This is where they're able to upload all of their information to your system and sign your documents. I'll show you what it looks like in a moment. So as you can see, so carrier onboarding is that encompasses the situation where you're getting all your carrier details, their general information, their driver information, anything they think you need to know. And then it's also where you get the information from them that you need to know, like perhaps a W-2, any insurance, and maybe a license of insurance. And of course, where you're going to have them sign any contracts that you want to make with them for service.
So you have this carrier information, and then if they have a factoring company that they use, you're adding that as well here?
Yeah, but they can do this themselves. So what you do is, and carrier onboarding is standard in the industry. So when you say I'm sending you carrier onboarding link, carriers know what you're talking about. And what you do is you just send them this email, they click on this link, and it's basically like an intake form, right? That you might fill out. And so you may have basic information already entered, right, on what you know to save them some time, but they can always review it. If they have a factoring company, they can go ahead and put that information in for you.
Okay.
Next, what they're going to do is they're going to enter in any insurance information. Then they can go ahead and add any drivers or contacts they want you to know about, right? And so on. This is important because they can let you know what zones they use if that's important to you. And then this is the part that's even more useful. You decide what information they need to, what forms they need to upload for you. The W-9 is a very standard option. And so it makes it really easy. Instead of having to do this long email chain where they email you your W-9, you download it, you upload it, you do all this. They can just drag and drop their file right into the W-9. And that's going to continue with any information you need. Now you also have the ability to mandate an option. In this case, MC paperwork, right, is important. And they have to drop it in before they can go. And what's nice is that the system lets you know where they are. So if you sent that carrier onboarding and you want to know if they're done, you can simply look here and you'll see that this still says onboard carrier. So they haven't finished yet. Now, all of this can be customized on what you want. So, because you're going to have your own intake packet, right? You might have you're going to probably have a contract specific to you. You might have a niche that you need certain information. So you have the ability to set up this onboarding carrier all right here. And you can, and what's nice is that we partner with Zoho Sign to give you the ability to digitize any of your documents. You simply drag and drop your file, like in this case, carrier profile, and then you just put these fields where you need them to fill out. So in this case, I want them to put the company information. So you see how I have company, I just drag and drop right here. Now they'll be able to enter in their company information. And this allows everything to be completely digital.
Nice. Your own document.
And you'll notice one thing about this is formatted so that if you pull this up on a tablet or cell phone, it's going to fit the screen. And that's really important for your owner operators. You're going to encounter two types of carriers: larger carriers that have like an office where people are there and they're doing all the paperwork, and then they have drivers, right? But you're also going to encounter but you also might handle owner operators, right?
I got a question. This would fit the screen on a tablet or a cell phone?
Yes.
What is that quick miles tab?
Oh yeah. So when you're speaking with your clients, you may, for any reason, need to simply quickly calculate miles, right, for a load. And this is just a feature to help you achieve that. So you would pick in the starting address and the ending address, and then it would tell you what the miles difference is. So here we have 974 Skyline Drive. And I always skip the city and state and just put in the zip code because my system will automatically populate it for me, saving me a little bit of time, right? And then I'm going here and I'll go to Regent, and then you'll see here, it'll give me the exact miles. Anything else? I thought you were all the class with the questions.
We're looking to try to figure out what we need to know.
Right, because she's good, man. She's good. And the question I was gonna ask my other partners already then jumped in. I was like, God dang it.
Well, Cassandra, I don't know. I'm kind of embarrassed now. They asked me.
Oh, you can't be embarrassed, Cassandra. She was prepared for us because you did it.
Definitely. Keith is going to recommend our system. He has you train on our system because he's done his research, just like he's done his research for every other thing he's going to recommend you. And he thinks that our system is the best for y'all. But whatever you decide, keep in mind that when you're looking for a TMS, when you're deciding what to go for, you really want to hit three components that are going to be really important to your business. One, you need a TMS system that does what it's supposed to do, right? It lets you build a load quickly. It keeps track of all the information you need, right? So functionality. The next you want to look at is automation. As you get larger and as you just deal with your customers, you want the ability to be able to quickly get in touch with that customer, provide that customer superior service, and have the workflow be very easy. Load Manager offers that, as you can see. For example, with that driver, you send them a link, they can do everything else, and you don't have to lift a finger. And then the third, so that's really important. So really the functionality, automation, and then the last one that we find to be extremely important, and actually something I hear from new customers who are coming to me, is service. You need a TMS system that you know how to work. Because you can have the best TMS system in the world, but if you don't know how to use it, or you have to spend, countless hours trying to figure out how to just do one simple function, well, you need to spend that time running your business. So whatever TMS system you go for, you really want to make sure that they have a good support network with live help, right? Preferably included, but also the ability for you to learn the way you learn best. We approach that in several ways. In your case, for example, we're partnering with Keith. We offer this TMS system for y'all to learn on, so that you can work with a TMS system that he's going to recommend to you when you actually do go into business, right? So you don't have to relearn something. And the other thing we do is we offer support. So like I'm doing right now, I shared my screen with you. When you become our customer, we're going to say, hey, let's build our first load together, right? And doing that allows me to help you answer any questions that you might have specific to the loads that you're working with, instead of you having to try and figure out, for even if it's 10 minutes, like, how do I do this? So we do offer live support. We offer video conferencing, as you can see here. And we also have a host of online YouTube videos and how-to articles.
YouTube, yes, I am
Right.
YouTube for.
I mean, I have a whole bunch of YouTubes that we offer. And then we also do something like, let's say you want to know about our rate confirmation, right? You just want to know what that looks like. I have a detailed list of where every single piece of information is in the rate confirmation, where it's found, and how to modify it. And it's all very simple. You see, I have one over here, and so on and so forth. And we have this for every report that we have in our system. And why do we do this? Because that way, when, let's say it's 12 o'clock in the morning and you're like, I want to know how to, change where does my company information come from? Because I want to change that phone number. Well, I look at 2 and I can see, oh, it's right here. It gives me the information. And so we do this on purpose. That way you can learn any way you want to. If you learn through YouTube videos, great. If you learn through something written, perfect. If you prefer someone to walk you through it step by step, we do that too. So
loving it.
I mean,
I'm so in love.
See, Keith, this is why we didn't have to have questions, because my next question was going to be, how the hell do we get to the stuff without having to call first? Because I want to look first before I have to talk to somebody.
Well, if you go in Teams, there's a video on there that's going to take you step by step. And Cassandra, remember when we first did it, and I already had everything down, and you was like, oh, you already got this. You did this. This the same video I was watching when I did it.
Yep. Yep. And and as you can see, we always have a link right here to our YouTube channel for easy access as well.
Oh, the link. Wait a minute. Where?
I'll show you right here.
A little YouTube logo.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I ain't even noticed that. I was too busy looking at other stuff. Okay. Yeah, see, that would be me, the visual one. Like, can you just show me? I just want to see.
Exactly. Exactly.
And also too, Cassandra, don't forget to show them the little the I button right there and the little sticky note, because that's especially for Brianna, Tasha,
I was gonna ask about
That's
that.
so
And
funny. I was
Sonia.
gonna ask that.
I was gonna ask that. I was looking, I was waiting, man, Keith.
So the
No, because I know you
information-
three, you are the main three that like to keep notes and a million questions. So there go that little sticky note right there
Already
that
know.
you can.
You already know.
So we like this sticky note. You'll notice that we always love feedback, and you can always send us a feedback by clicking on that support ticket. The support ticket is a great option if you have a question, but you don't really want to give us a call or maybe stop your workflow, right? You just send a note like, I was wondering about blah, blah, blah. And we can always send you back the answer. But this sticky note right here is, I'll tell you how it came along. We have this wonderful customer, her name is Cassandra, and she would be building a load or doing something else on her TMS, and then she'd get a phone call, right? Because she's a smaller business, she's a smaller company, she has just a few employees, so everybody's, so she's multitasking, right? And so she would always write, so she'd get a phone call and she'd have her normal note paper and write it down. And then she'd lose the note paper. She'd go home and she'd get a phone call and she'd be like, oh, I forgot that that's, on my desk in my office. So we surprised her one day with this option where this is simply a Post-it note, right? Like a little notepad directly attached to your TMS system. So let's say I'm building a load, right? And I get a phone call saying, check on load 5867. I can just put it in my TMS right there, continue what I'm doing. And then it's right here next time whenever I pull it up again. So it's just one of those neat functions that help you stay organized.
Oh, yes.
Right? That's exactly it. Like we have a similar option. You'll notice all throughout our system, you'll see filing cabinets, right? So this is your general filing cabinet. We have one for your carriers. We have one for each load. We even have one for your users, right? And you can attach pretty much any standard file on this, like picture or document, PDF, so on and so forth. And so if you wanted to, you could upload most of your company documents so that you basically have a digital filing cabinet and you can view it from anywhere.
Wait, how did you get to the filing cabinet?
So we have filing cabinets attached to pretty much every major information page. So we have our general filing cabinet here, right, under settings and configuration options, right? I can add any file I want. And this would be like your general filing cabinet. But if you have additional files that you want to attach to your carriers, let's say, each carrier has its own filing cabinet as filing link as well.
Okay.
Oh, I see it. So for them, it says view/attach files instead of filing cabinet.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we needed to know how to do a quick video like you were just talking about earlier, would that be us calling to ask for it or putting a support ticket? Like what would be the better way for something like that?
Most of my customers are really busy growing their business. And so normally when you're setting up, I normally get more phone calls from my newer customers who are learning the system, right? Because their questions are, how do I do something that I'm actively needing to do right now? Like build that first load or dispatch or I have a question about dispatching. But so normally those customers are going to give me a call for more immediate concerns.
Okay.
But as you know how to run your basic business, the basics, most of my customers will send me a support ticket. I'd say 90% of them send me a support ticket because normally the questions they have are more, looking to be better automated, or they're just curious, like what is the factoring company? So you can really do whatever works for you. It's going to be completely up to you. And you're always welcome to request, can I have that in a video?
Sounds good. She's good. She's good.
Can you click on the factoring tab so I can
Of course.
look at that?
So the factoring tab allows you to add a factoring company once that you can assign to your customers or carriers. So let's say that and so you would enter it once. So let's say Tao, and then you would just save. So we have an example one right here. And this is really meant for you so you have a place to record who your factoring companies are. And then you can assign them as needed to your carriers as seen right here, right? So I can put in Factoring USA and it has that information. Or if you use it for your customers, you have the same option. What a TMS system is designed to do is it's designed to provide you everything you need to successfully dispatch, book, and get paid for a load, right? So you're able to send out different reports. So we have an aging report, so you can see who owes you what money, for example, right?
Okay.
So you see, here's an aging report, right? We offer your carrier settlement report that I showed you earlier. We offer the ability at the end of the year, you can do your 1099s.
Awesome, yes.
Mm-hmm. So, but as she said, QuickBooks, it makes your life a lot easier. And so when you're first starting out and you just have a few expenses, okay, maybe you don't need a system to do that for you. But when you got 10 employees, you're running 2 offices on each side of the coast, then you might want a little extra support, so it's going to be completely up to your style. And that's something Keith helps you determine.
Sounds good. Thanks
All
so
right.
much for fun.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Keith, did I miss anything?
No.
All right.
Well, I really hope you enjoyed that demo. And although Cassandra did a great job of showing you many of the exciting features that we have in our system, there's one thing that they didn't talk about during that demo. And that is, as a dispatch services person, a lot of times that is a stepping stone to becoming your own freight broker. And with our software, you can actually add carriers into the system, ones that you're going to broker with, right? So instead of dispatching for them, you can mark them in Load Manager as being a carrier that you're going to broker with, where you get a load of your own, and then you're going to broker that out to that carrier. And then you, in essence, as a freight broker, are going to keep the spread, right? The software is great for that purpose. And we have some more videos that'll show you how to do that. Thanks so much for watching.